Hello, awesome people. My name is Mary. I'm the teen librarian at the Scotlandville Branch Library, and this week we are going to be making a Japanese Lucky Charm. Just a quick heads up, supplies are limited, first come, first serve, and I'd like to give a shout out to Momotaro Trimming and Crafts on YouTube for this idea. So what exactly are we making? We are making a lucky charm that is inspired by the Japanese Omamori. An Omamori is a special amulet that holds wishes or blessings inside. These can include things like good luck, success in school, good health, happiness, happy relationships, and so on and so on and so on. I want to stress that we are not making an Omamori itself. We are only making something inspired by it. You can only get a proper Omamori at a Shinto shrine or a Buddhist temple. However, if you go to just about any tourist shop in Japan, you will see lucky charms that look like Omamori, and these often have popular characters on them like Hello Kitty, Mickey Mouse, Snoopy, Naruto, Pikachu, and so on. But those charms that you can buy at a shop or online, or the charm that we are making now, is not an Omamori. I just want to stress that again. Be sure to check the video description for a few links that give some more information on what Omamori are and how to properly care for an Omamori if you ever happen to get one, if you go to Japan and get one. Alright, so for this lucky charm, we will need a piece of origami paper, we will need a small piece of cardstock, we will need a container of glue and a Q-tip to spread the glue, we will need a piece of satin cord, we will need a pencil or a pen, we will need scissors, and this is optional, but if you have a hole puncher, that'll make a step a whole lot easier too. So first, and this is going to be the most difficult step of the whole thing, I promise, but we are going to be tying a fancy knot called a double coin knot. This is not the traditional knot that you would see on an Omamori if you got one from Japan, but that's intentional. We're not making an Omamori, we're only making a lucky charm inspired by one. So our knot is going to look different. So to start, you can see that I've got a piece of tape on one end of my cord. That's to show you which side is the left side, which side is the right side. Since this is filmed upside down, the side with the tape is going to be referred to as the right side, even though it is on your left as you're watching this. So just bear that in mind. So the first step is you're going to take the right end of your cord and pass it over the left end of your cord to make a loop. Then hold that loop down and take the right end of your cord again and make another loop that passes partly over the first loop you made. If it ends up looking kind of like a pretzel when you're done, good, that's exactly what you want. Okay, now comes the most difficult part. Alright, take your right hand cord, thread it over the first loop, under the second loop, over the first loop again, and then under the second loop again, and then pull it tight, and you should have your double coin knot. It'll end up looking like this. Now, if you need to look for another tutorial on YouTube, I know my tutorial wasn't the best. If you need to find another tutorial on YouTube, there are some fabulous ones out there. I definitely recommend it if you can't get a hold of it from my instructions. Alright, so next you're going to take your small piece of cardstock and you're going to write down your wish for the year to come. Doesn't matter what the wish is. Do you want good grades in school? Do you want good luck? Do you want to do well in sports? Whatever your wish is, write it down on your small piece of cardstock. As you can see, I decided to wish for good luck this coming year. Now you're going to fold your charm. Take your piece of origami paper, lay it pattern side down on your table, and make sure it's facing vertically so it'll look long and skinny. Then take your wish and lay it near the bottom of the piece of paper, not at the very bottom because you'll need to do some folding, but close. Then take both sides of the paper and fold them into the center so it wraps around the cardstock that has your wish on it. Make sure the folds are pretty even before you crease them, just so you know it all looks neat and tidy at the end. Then fold a small flap up at the bottom of your paper to hold your wish. That's why you didn't want to put your wish at the very bottom, because you don't want to fold your wish up as well. Now this is optional. You can also fold a small flap at the top of your paper as well for a cleaner look. Now spread a thin layer of glue along those flaps of paper that you had folded, and then fold the whole thing in half. Before you let the glue dry though, tuck the two top corners of your folded charm in so it looks kind of like half of a hexagon at the top. Try to make it even, but don't worry about it if it isn't. This is your charm. Then let the charm dry completely before you move on to the next step. I left mine for about 3 hours and it was dry, but you may want to leave yours to dry overnight. And if you have something heavy to place on top of it when it dries, like a big heavy book for example, that'll help it to dry flat. Once it's dry, you'll want to punch a hole at the top, kind of in the middle of those two corners that you folded in. If you have a hole puncher, this is where it comes in handy. But if you don't have a hole puncher, you can use your pencil or your scissors to poke a hole. Just be very, very careful. Then take those two tails, those two long ends from your coin knot, and thread them through the hole that you punched. Then tie the tails into an overhand knot at the top. And then if there's a whole lot of tail left over, if there's long ends at the end of your knot, you can use your scissors to trim those off. And now you're done. You can hang your lucky charm on your backpack, or you can hang it somewhere in your room, or you can keep it in your pocket as a reminder of the wish that you made for the year to come. I hope you enjoyed making this. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome!